Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel, an editorial discussion for 28th May 2022. My name is Harsh Singh, and in this video we shall discuss an editorial from yesterday's The Hindu, which is titled Citing the Finish Line in Measles Rubella Elimination. This editorial discussion will entail what is measles and rubella disease, how do they transmit, what was the government program for the inoculation in the year 2017, and why such rigorous program, and what were the differences between 2017 and 2022 program right now, and the intentions of the government. We will understand this from the perspective of governance, vaccine hesitancy, and also from the perspective of diseases, GS paper 2, all of them. If you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments, and shares. Let's discuss. 2017, and the government introduced the measles rubella vaccination program, and this program was far different from the usual universal immunization program under Mission Indradhanush. Now, 2017, when the government introduced this program on a war footing basis, the certain differences that were there from UIP, Universal Immunization Program, were Universal Immunization Program would cover small children until the age of 5 years, and this particular MR, measles rubella vaccination, would include children up to the age of 15 years. This program did have a rubella disease campaign as well, vaccination campaign, which was never a part of universal immunization program. Parents and children and teachers and anybody else were not aware of this. Similarly, this program, measles rubella program, was introduced through schools and not through the district administration or the regular universal immunization program. So people were in a lot of trust deficit. There was vaccination hesitancy. People were fearful of what this new program is about. See, now this is where in this video we'll understand what was the intention of government back in 2017. Government works with a program, and there's a last moment jiffy to initiate a program. So government had a target earlier to eliminate measles disease from the country by the year 2015. We will also understand what is measles and rubella disease. Both of them spread from one person to the other, and both of them are virus-led diseases. We'll understand about them. So government had an earlier program of elimination of measles from the country by 2015. It didn't work out, so then they had a new target, 2020. Now whenever they want to ensure that a disease is no more prevalent or it is eliminated out of country, the country cannot have the prevalence of that disease or spread of that disease, or through any surveillance measure the finding that the disease was present there for the next 3 years. That means when polio was eradicated from India in 2014, there was no case of polio reported from 2011 middle to 12 to 13, right? 3 years, 1, 2 and 3 years, there were no cases. Similar was to be the case with the measles as well. So to eliminate the disease from India by 2020, they initiated a rigorous vaccine campaign in 2017, so that after 2017, 18, 19, 20, 3 years, there's nobody from where the disease gets transmitted. That was the intention of the government in 2017. Now, so government did all this, and people were really hesitant during those times. And after that, what happened? Corona struck in 2020. So after that, this whole program was there was a slow run for the whole program. And now government has rigorously said that we would like to start a program like this again, because we want to eliminate this particular measles and rubella from India by 2023, right? This is the target, right? So when a target like this is to be set, now government is realizing that they must have it under universal immunization program. Why did they have it under government schools then? Is because government schools had high registrations. Schools in fact had high registrations, high attendance. So doing it under schools would be a rigorous program. And why would they have it for 15 years? Is because when they have the program for 15 years, this rubella disease, it can get transmitted at a later age also, in the adolescent age also, and even while a newborn, a mother is pregnant, and she can transmit it to the child. So they wanted to eliminate this disease as well. So this vaccination piggybacked, वो पीठ पे बैठ गया on measles vaccination, and both of them, दो तीर से एक शिकार, one vaccination and two diseases would get eliminated. So both of them would be working with each other. And see, why administer this up to the age of 15 years is because this vaccination does not have any adverse event following immunization. right? After immunization, you won't have headache, you won't have any nausea, or you won't, lie unconscious or feel very uncomfortable in the body. This is for the children. So when, see, there are a lot of parallels with COVID. There was surveillance campaign for COVID. There's surveillance campaigns for measles rubella as well, because both are transmissible diseases. There was a following up of adverse events following immunization. Anybody have feeling very adverse, they need to call the government for this, and so was the case with this as well. Similarly, there's vaccine hesitancy here, and there was vaccine hesitancy with COVID as well previously, right? So a lot of similarities you can draw, and you can also check how the government is reforming on its own steps. Now, to understand what is this disease about, see, Measles Rubella Elimination Campaign means zero transmission of both the diseases. Measles, a different disease, and rubella, a different disease. Both of them need not get transmitted, and there has to be zero clinical diseases. That means zero cases in labs and anywhere else, and it has to be sustained for 3 years. This is the idea. And only then, after that, India will get a certificate for measles rubella free or elimination, right? So when this intervention happens, it happens at two levels. One is vaccination, and the other one is surveillance, mass level surveillance throughout the country. And surveillance happens through spatial means, because when this virus gets transmitted from one person to the other, that means this virus can also get imported. Even when we have inoculated all the people, vaccinated all the small children, it can get imported. So that is why surveillance is important. And local area transmission will get checked, because wherever we find the transmission, we'll straight away start to inject this vaccination amongst small children, right? So vaccination is distributed right now as a part of universal immunization program. See, there's a whole chart of UIP. I'd like to show you this chart, and this is what government follows. This is the national immunization schedule, and right from the time the child is born, BCG vaccination, and then hepatitis, polio, all these vaccination, diphtheria is given, tetanus is given, Japanese encephalitis, pneumonia, etc. And this is where you see measles vaccination given, right? Two of the vaccinations are given, and the idea is to give two vaccination while the child is very small, right? But then, see, do you see a name rubella here? No, and that is why there was hesitancy amongst people. That is why 15 years of age also was a question amongst people. But then now we've understood why it was so. So when this was the idea of the program, and in fact, the coverage idea is to cover 95% children, so that transmissibility is very less. So let's understand about both the diseases now. Measles disease and rubella disease both have similar symptoms: rashes on the body, red rashes, and fever, slight fever. So this happens in measles, and even more slight symptoms of the similar kind happen in rubella. It is possible that there may be no symptoms at all, asymptomatic in rubella. So but then, even in that case, the person may transmit the disease, right? Now there's discussion amongst the experts all the time whether measles should have been the disease to get eliminated from India first, or polio. It is because, see, polio paralyzes 1%, used to paralyze 1% of all the children under 5 years of age, but measles would kill 1% of the children under 5 years of age. So measles should have been eliminated from India first, before polio. In fact, when measles outbreak would happen, the fertility rate would be 10 to 15%. This would also constrain the cognitive awareness development, and reduce the immunity of the child. So when you see government, I picked up from the government documents itself right here. See, 2013 government said that 2014 the polio free country India was declared by WHO, and 2013 the government said we will eliminate the disease rubella and measles from South Asia. So why such delay? This is a question that is always asked, with whether polio should have been whether measles should have been taken before polio. That was the first question. So measles is about this disease. When we speak about rubella, similar symptoms and possibly not even appearing symptoms, but this transmission of disease can happen at later age also, even when the female child has grown to adolescent or marriageable age. And when this gets transmitted from mother to the fetus, then fetus will could have severe birth defects. For example, blindness, hearing impaired, cognitive development, and this is called as congenital rubella syndrome. Congenital rubella syndrome, CRS. That means available with the child right from the birth, and this can be prevented. Imagine this, right? And that is why vaccination would be given prior to pregnancy, up to the age of 15 years, because see, many people would not be covered. No, this rubella vaccination has been introduced by the government only right now, and many children would not have taken vaccinations up to the age of 5. So then extending the age, because this does not have any side effects on anybody. So the plan was to have two diseases covered with one shot. Okay, surveillance of both the diseases together. Why? Because both of them have similar symptoms. So very smart strategy. And this was the idea. See, till now we have not done as bad. We have covered 85% of dosages, second doses under 5, 85%. So other people will be covered, and that is why government is now ramping up this whole program so that it covers all of vaccination by the year 2023, right? And who to utilize this time? District administration and universal immunization program staff and administration, right? So this is the difference between what was done previously and what is being done right now. We covered the meaning and concept of both the diseases, how they transmit. Both of them are virus spread diseases. And we also understood the different strategies that were adopted previously, what was the issue previously, and what is happening right now. All right. Now, a quick question to you people. Mention 4 ways to initiate confidence building measures before the introduction of inoculation programs in India. If you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments, and shares. And if you've got a question, put it down in the comment section. We will ensure to get back. Thank you for watching.